Welcome to the all-new Didcot podcast, your weekly roundup of everything Didcot and beyond. Join Charlie and Giselle as we dive into the topics that matter, from the latest headlines to the hottest talking points. This is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. This is the Didcot podcast with Charlie and Giselle.
Hello and welcome to the Didcot podcast with me, Giselle, and my good... horrible friend, Charlie.
Oh, come on. I was just about to go, hi, Giselle, but I'm not going to say that anymore.
Oh, no. My good friend, Charlie. How are you?
All right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. I'm all snuggled up with a nice electric blanket, courtesy of Charlie, and I've got a cup of tea on his child's skateboard, which is a new arrangement I've never seen in a house before.
Also, courtesy of Charlie, but also... me and Giselle have had quite an argument, probably going on for a few months now, about who makes the best cup of tea. And Giselle commits crimes against tea making on a regular basis. It's nice that she's at my house where I get to make the tea and it's drinkable.
Even though you admitted that my tea tastes better. But that is a subject for another day, because we could go on for
that's
hours.
fake news, fake news. That's fake news. I never said that.
So what have we got coming up today, Charlie? Swiftly moving on.
Well, we've got a lot of stuff coming up today, Giselle. As usual, we've got all the news around Didcot. There's obviously some big stories. There's a couple of tricky things we're going to have to talk about at some point. Then we're going to take you for a little bit of a waft around the villages around Didcot and tell you what's going on around there. There's lots of events. We've got some music stuff. So there's a lot going into this show, Giselle, and I expect you to make it interesting.
It will definitely be interesting, but I tell you what, when you say tricky, this is probably one of the most difficult things that we are going to have to talk about. And honestly, I'm reluctant to talk about it because I don't like it at all. But it is the thing that everybody in Didcot is talking about at the moment, and that is the jailing of the former assistant head teacher at Didcot Girls School, Catherine Pearl, who's 50 years old, after she sexually abused one of the pupils at the school.
This is a deeply, deeply disturbing case. I mean, the abuse went on for 4 years, but also the way that the school seems to have handled the situation has brought on a lot of criticism. I just want to read out a bit of the statement that the head teacher, Georgina Littler, put out sometime after the story had broken. It says, "This has been a distressing case and a shock to our community, and understandably some parents have asked questions about how we have communicated as well as our safeguarding procedures. We acknowledge and regret any disquiet about our approach in handling this matter. Much of what we have done has been determined by the legal and safeguarding frameworks we have in place."
One of the things I'm really unhappy about with it, I'm unhappy about so much of it, but given that it happened, is that I found out about this not through the news or through the school. I would have thought I'd know about it because it's a massive case. I would have thought I would, I've got a bit of an ear to the ground. I talked to my mum friends and everything. I knew nothing about this until my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, told me about it because she'd heard about it on one of her school WhatsApp groups.
So is it fair to say you don't think the school has handled it very well?
I would have expected to have heard something from the school before I heard about it from my child, because I would have wanted to have that conversation with her myself, or I would have wanted the school to have had that conversation with her rather than her tell me about it, it'd be sprung on me. And, when she first said, my instant reaction was, that can't be right. That's just gossip. But of course, then I looked it up and found out it was true. And it is absolutely shocking. And of course, all the girls, they're saying, the main word I hear from the girls when they talk about it is, it's disgusting. But yeah, I am disappointed how I found out.
What do you think the knock-on effect will be for the school? Because, we were talking last week, or you were talking last week, about the amount of people moving out into Didcot from places like London and stuff like that because they're attracted to the schools, because obviously Orius is doing very well now, and Didcot Girls School of Bryanus is a good school. They've all got good reputations. Yeah. Do you think this will have much of an effect on the reputation for the school? Obviously it does now, and lots of people are talking about it, but does it really has it really done any damage to the reputation of the school? Honestly,
I don't know. I think that we'll see that in time. For me personally, I feel like when something of this gravitas happens, in a way it can make the place safer because it puts such a spotlight on it. And sometimes when a really bad thing happens, that's when change really happens.
Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, or drop us an email at thedidcotpodcast@gmail.com.
I'm going to tell you a funny story. So while I was researching for this week's Didcot podcast, I saw a headline that said plans for £600 million theme park in Oxfordshire. And I looked and I was desperately hoping to see Didcot, and it's not, it's Bicester.
Oh, really? A theme park in Bicester, though?
Yeah. It's
not too bad, though. It would be nice if Didcot just had a bowling alley. But yeah, I mean, if we had a theme park in Bicester, that would be pretty good. Because at the moment, it's like Thorpe Park, Chessington, Legoland, Lego World, or Alton Towers. And they are drives. That's a right old trek. My daughter absolutely loves roller coasters. So do nearly all her friends. So it would be cool to have one a lot nearer. So I'm okay with Bicester, in fact. When you do go on a roller coaster, do you not get that awful sensation in your stomach? Because that's why I can't do it. What, and you like that?
It frightens me, yeah.
Oh, I absolutely hate that feeling.
I went on the first time, the reason I knew I hated roller coasters when I went to Chicago was I went on one in a casino in Vegas once, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's in a casino in Vegas. How hard can it be? Oh, my God. This thing was absolutely terrifying. Honestly, right through the middle of a casino, up and down, around the roof, everything. It was, honestly, the people I was working with, they couldn't believe it because I come from a racing background.
Yeah.
They couldn't believe I was literally terrified. I vowed never to go on a roller coaster again. And then obviously went to Chicago, took my kids and all that sort of stuff. And then so I had to do it again. So I gave it a go. And when you realise that you are actually fixed to the rail pretty hard and you're stuck in your chair, oh my God, the best thing I've ever done in my life. Literally, I could become a roller coaster addict. In fact, I'm selling my house next week. I'm going to move to somewhere in America and I'm just going to spend my life on roller coasters.
You get a job in Bicester.
This is the Didcot podcast with Charlie and Giselle.
I'm going to have to stay mute on this because I can't speak about this without actually.
Is it rant time?
Yeah.
Giselle tells Charlie,
I'm not going to try.
talking.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm going to ask your opinion because we need to talk about it.
Okay.
20-mile-an-hour zones. We're getting them all over Oxfordshire.
Oh, this is coming to Didcot. More 20-mile-an-hour zones. Yeah, okay. So that's been given the go-ahead by the council, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, Town Council. Yeah, there are more of them.
So I think there should definitely be 20-mile-an-hour zones around schools and places where there are children. I'm not so sure about, 20 does feel really slow on a normal road, right? Is it just me that thinks that?
I can't
Here we go.
I can't get my words out.
Let's just,
Look,
put a bag over your head and you can't talk.
All I know is that at 20 miles an hour, at 8 o'clock at night, going into Wallingford is a ridiculously slow speed. So I can't see I totally understand it. 20 mile an hour outside of school, between 3 and 5 o'clock, brilliant. Or 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the morning, 20 mile an hour, brilliant. Great idea. Let's have some more zebra crossings while we're at it. But 20 miles an hour going down most roads at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night just seems absolutely ridiculous.
This is the Didcot podcast with Charlie and Giselle.
I've got an interesting little bit of news. I find it quite interesting.
It's not infrastructure, is it? Hang on a minute. Whoa.
It's not really. It's not infrastructure. No, it's houses. It's houses, and it's about.
That's infrastructure, Charlie.
It's about really nice, warm, and friendly property developers.
Oh God, here we go. It's not going to be about that at all.
It's not. It's actually quite good. Look, Valley Park has 4,254 homes, and they're going to reserve 59 homes exclusively for people who are local to live in, which I think is probably quite a good idea because you did say last week that a lot of people are moving into Didcot from all different places because it's super rural, I think was the word you used.
I said that people from London sometimes see Didcot as super rural. I didn't say Didcot super rural. I know the difference between a village.
Did you see any otters on the way over here?
Didn't you say you've got otters at the end of your garden?
Yeah, we have in Wallingford. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So there you go.
Valley Park's also going to get 2 primary schools, SEN school, local centres and sports facilities.
When will that be? In another 50 years?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we had if you weren't listening last week, we had a bit of a conversation about Great Western Park not having a doctor's surgery, which was agreed in 2015.
Do you know, I actually want to say a bit more about that because you know how we were talking about doctor's surgeries? I looked at the stats after that and how many more people there are in Didcot now. And I think it was something like there were 10,000 more people when they started building Great Western Park and all that lot, Willowbrook Park, etc. Well, imagine that. Okay, so literally think 10,000 people and we don't have another doctor's surgery. So I've got real life experience of this. Today, I wanted my doctor...
As you would say, here comes a rant.
Okay, maybe slightly.
Giselle's looking really
angry.
angry.
I think the reason I want to say this is because I think this is... I speak to my friends and they're all having the same experience. So I want to get a doctor's appointment for my son. He's in a lot of pain with his foot. And I phone the doctor's surgery. I speak to someone. They tell me I've got to fill out a form to be triaged. I can't access the form because their form system was down. This was Friday, by the way. Waited till Monday, logged in straight away, actually got the form, quite quickly got a call back, to be fair, on the same day, and got told I could have a doctor's appointment 1 week later. And when I said I'd really like to see someone before that, I was told, oh, you have to fill in the form again. Because if you want it to be moved more forward, you've got to kind of start from scratch. So I'm like, okay, go back, try to fill in the forms down again. And it's like, how hard can it be? It's just such a long, drawn-out process. If we did have another doctor's surgery, surely we would be able to get appointments quicker. The system may still be the same in terms of triaging, but surely you'd be able to get an appointment sooner. With 10,000 more people, it slows the system down.
Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, or drop us an email at thedidcotpodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, Giselle.
Yes?
Is it time for our village roundup? Is that what we were going to call it?
Let's
village
fast
roundup?
track round the villages.
Fast track?
Yeah, I'm going to throw a village at you, and then you've got to tell me something that's going on in it.
You've just made up a feature.
Yes,
Can't we just
I
read?
did.
Okay, go on then. Fire away.
Okay, I'll throw you a village name.
Chuck me a village. Any village. Any
Okay,
village.
Cholsey.
Oh, Cholsey. Yep, no problem. Cholsey. Oh, I like this one. This is a good one. Cholsey Bluebirds. They are looking for new members for their girls team. For girls aged 5 to 11. They're called the Wildcats.
What is that football?
Yeah, football, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Which is the round one.
Yeah.
And it's on Sundays, 8:30 to 10:30, Chelsea Recreation Ground. And if you speak to Beth Reeves, who you will find on Facebook at Chelsea Bluebirds Football Club, she will tell you what you need to know. It only costs £2, and you take your little girl down, and before you know it, she'll be playing for Accrington Stanley.
Who are they? Exactly. Okay, Blueberry.
Blueberry?
Blueberry.
Okay, hang on.
Quickly. This is supposed to be speed.
Oh, hold on. It's a pantomime. It's the Blueberry Players are doing Puss in Boots, and it starts on the 29th of January to the February the 1st in Blueberry Village Hall, and it's £16 for adults, £8 for children. It's on 7:30 nightly and 2:30 on Saturday for a matinee. Are you going to go?
Well, my daughter will probably want to go because she absolutely loves the theatre and that's what she wants to do when she's older. So I'll definitely take a look at that. Okay, Milton.
Milton? Right. Milton, oh, I quite like this. Right, Hester's Fitness Training. Fancy joining our outdoor fitness gang? Yes, I do. I could do with getting fit. Right, it's in Ardington and Milton. It's Mondays. It's every day of the week, basically. They're doing fitness and Pilates. And basically, they've got a really good deal on where you can get a 2-week free class pass. I think that looks like quite a lot of fun. That's the sort of thing I could get into because I could do with a bit of fitness, really. And they call themselves the Outdoor Fitness Gang. Next.
I'm not allowed to have favourites, but I have got a favourite village, or one of them, and that is Harwell. Go for Harwell.
Well, firstly, why is Harwell your favourite village?
I don't know. I just like it. I just get good vibes there. I think because Jazz goes to Gobo Theatre there for her drama. She's got nice friends there.
It's got a very vibrant group, Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people there. It's good.
I actually know who runs that group. She's a friend of mine.
Really?
Yeah, really nice lady.
Name and shame.
No.
Mum friend?
Yeah.
Man friend?
Mum friend.
No, you called him man friend last week. Right, my story from Harwell is quite interesting. Do you like trees?
Hugging them or just to look at?
Both.
I like looking at them, yeah.
Well, they have applied for planning and been granted planning for 2 linked buildings, a green space and car parking on land south of Curie Avenue at Harwell. But the problem is
that at the science park?
Yeah, it
right,
is.
Yeah.
But it's going to create 154 jobs, so it's a pretty cool thing. But they are going to chop down 50 trees.
Oh, that's not so
And
good.
people are a bit upset about it, which I kind of understand.
Yeah, I don't like hearing about cheese being chopped down.
Oh my God. If there are any budding podcast presenters want to have a go at presenting a podcast, it's really not hard. You can write to me. I am at the Didcot Podcast on Facebook, and if you got availability right now,
Yeah, bye.
That'd be really cool.
I'm going to bed.
By all means, contact me.
Can we just come back to Didcot for a moment, because I've got something I want to talk about.
Absolutely. I feel like I've done a whirlwind tour of the villages.
You know how we like to do some hard news, but we also kind of do a bit of gossip as well.
Go on.
There was some gossip on one of the Facebook pages the other day about W.H. Smith closing on Broadway.
Oh, really?
Which would be really bad because there's a post office there as well. But apparently it's not true. It's not happening because somebody spoke to a member of staff there and they told them that, yes, some W.H. Smith branches are closing, but the Didcot one isn't.
I went into the post office in Didcot not that long ago to get something quite weird.
What?
An international driving permit. And guess what? They were brilliant.
Oh, good.
They were really helpful. They were really good, actually. They knew all about it. In fact, you can't get them in post offices anymore. But they were really helpful, and I really liked it in there, I have to say. There was quite an interesting post on the Wallingford Matters Facebook page earlier on in the week where somebody was explaining that the office at Wallingford, the sorting office at Wallingford, has its first full-scale delivery revision for over 11 years.
What does that even mean?
It means all deliveries have changed. You may see posties you've not previously seen on your delivery. You may not see your regular postie as well.
I've got a friend that had a massive crush on her postie.
Really?
Yeah, she really liked him. She would like, it sounds like the sort of thing that you hear about that doesn't actually happen, but it actually happened. She was literally peeping through her curtains to
They only
check
wear
him
shorts,
out.
don't they? They only wear shorts. Did you know that?
No, is that true?
It shows how hardy they are, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it says here they're appealing for posties to be given a little bit of leeway while things settle down.
What do you think of post box toppers? I bet you hate them.
Why?
I don't
love
know.
them. I think
just
they're a
'cause-
brilliant idea.
Do you like them?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I love them. I'm always taking pictures of them, and there's some amazing ones in Didcot. The one outside the main sorting office is always phenomenal.
They sort of make me feel like I'm part of a community because someone's just doing something for the sake of it just to make the place look a bit brighter.
Yeah, I think that's really nice too. I'll tell you what isn't nice for the community.
Road cones?
Potholes.
Oh, it's close.
Oh my gosh, it's driving me mad. They're
Is it?
just everywhere. And have you seen, I saw a load of stuff about them on the A4 130, so it affects like coming from Didcot to
Yeah.
Wallingford. They're so nasty. And funnily enough, I was talking to my son in the car about them earlier because, okay, if you're going uphill or downhill, you tend to see them in the distance. But if you're on a flat, quite often you just don't notice them until
especially
you're in them.
When it's flooded, that's when you can't see
and
them.
when it's flooded, yeah, or it's dark, whatever. Yeah, they're awful.
We don't have them in Wallingford.
Well,
They're not allowed.
you've got them on the way to Wallingford.
They're not allowed.
What do you mean you're not allowed? They're not allowed.
We don't tolerate potholes.
Really?
Yeah,
I reckon there's a few.
there is. I'll tell you what, there's some whoppers. I'll tell you what, some parts of Wallingford are like. It's like you've gone back into the 17th century.
Yeah. And why does it just seem to take so long to sort them out?
Yeah, I mean, potholes are a nightmare, and I think they become more noticeable now that everybody's driving around with alley wheels that tend to break. You know, when you used to have the old steel wheels, when you were driving around in your old Austin Allegro,
I'd never had an Austin Allegro, for clarity.
and your steel wheels, you could go off the edge of a cliff there, and your wheels would be fine. Whereas now with aluminium wheels, they do tend to crack and break quite easily, and they're very expensive to replace. So I think potholes are they're probably a little bit annoying. They've probably always been there, but they're more annoying than they used to be because you puncture your low-profile tyre now and you smash your aluminium wheel. So, yeah.
I think there's definitely more. I seem to see them everywhere I go. I've had enough.
This is the Didcot Podcast with Charlie and Giselle.
It better not be infrastructure now.
Well, it is, yeah, it is. It's
Oh,
Lidl,
here we go.
the new Lidl, the big new Lidl.
Oh, I saw about that.
£12
Yeah.
million Lidl, great. New supermarket, brilliant, Lidl, whatever, yeah, great. But they're putting it down on Abingdon Road. It's an odd place to put a Lidl, I think. And so do lots of other people.
But it's a good place to serve, for example, all the new houses that are at the other side of Ladygrove.
But hold on, there's a
Noble
Tesco's down
Park.
there. And what's the other one down there?
There's an Aldi nearby
There's
as
an
well.
Aldi, a
yeah.
Tesco's.
Yeah.
What else?
Sainsbury's we've got.
Yeah, that's in the centre of town.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's it on the other side of town? How many big supermarkets have you got up there?
What, like Great Western Park side? Or
Yeah.
You got Asda that side.
What, is it a really big one?
It's not a really big one. No, it's quite an average size.
Stick
one.
the Lidl up there and balance things out a little bit. Where do you do your shopping then?
I do it at all of the supermarkets.
Why?
Actually. It's just whatever I feel like. You know, some days you just wake up and you feel like Sainsbury's. Another day you wake up and you think, oh, it's a Tesco day. And then other days I think, I really want to save some money this week and I'll go to Aldi.
Not once in my life have I felt like that.
Really? Do you just
Never.
go to the same place every time?
I don't want to go ever.
Oh, yeah, I bet you shop at Waitrose.
Sometimes, but no, I don't
I
actually.
knew it.
No, hold on. Well, of course I do. It's in Wallingford, but no, I don't. I go to Tesco's.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
I really like Tesco's in Didcot, yeah.
I like Tesco's because it's got a lot of choice. So if I need to do a massive shop, I will normally go to Tesco, yeah.
Interesting stuff. Giselle,
Yes, Charlie.
what do Agatha Christie, Alfredo Campoli, and Jethro Tull all have in common?
Is it anything to do with gravestones in our area?
No, not even close.
Oh, okay.
They've all got blue plaques in Oxfordshire.
Is that where you have someone's name on the side of a building because they're associated
It
with
is
it?
indeed. Not 4 doors from my house, Agatha Christie has a blue plaque on her
really?
where she used to live. Yeah, she used to write her books at the bottom of my garden.
I think her grave is it in Cholsey or somewhere like that
She's
as well?
buried in Cholsey, and there's a
Yeah.
statue. Wallingford had a new statue unveiled about a year ago, and it's lovely.
Wow.
And it brings in quite a few people. I mean, if you turn the telly on at any point in any day, you'll find at least one Agatha Christie program on.
Oh, I love Agatha
sometimes 2 and
Christie
sometimes
programs.
3.
Yeah, they're classics.
Love's a strong word, but I do. She's a good thing for the town. Anyway, in Benson,
Yeah.
they have a thing called the Bensington Society, and they are having a talk about blue plaques, and by a guy called Robert Evans, and it's going to be on Friday, the 31st of January. And it's in Benson Parish Hall. Doors open at 7 p.m. for a 7:30 start. Non-members entrance £5. Supper £5. Oh my God, Giselle,
Yes.
do you fancy going out with me?
No way.
Oh come on.
No chance in.
I know, a great place to
No,
go where
absolutely
there's a bar and we get dinner and a very interesting talk about blue plaques. Actually, blue plaques are actually quite interesting.
I tell you what, even if it's at the top London restaurant, I'm not having dinner with you. It's enough having to do a podcast, thanks.
Whoa, it's in Benson Parish Hall.
Oh, now you're talking. If you don't fancy that, you could go to Club Rio. Have you ever been?
Club Rio, not the...
Club Rio. It's in Didcot, 7th of February.
That's
it's
at
at the
Haddon Hill.
Marlborough Club. Huh?
Oh, no, because do you remember the nightclub at top of Haddon Hill used to be called the Rio?
No.
Come on, you're old enough to remember. Oh, you probably
No.
you might not have been in Didcot that long.
I don't think, no.
When I was a kid, you know where the garage is at the top of Haddon Hill,
Yeah.
where the big pothole is?
Yeah.
Uh,
Great.
that used
What
to
a
be-
way to know it.
that used to be a nightclub.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I remember getting stuck up there loads of times with no taxi, having to walk back when I was when I would have been 14, 15, a long time. Lots of people in Didcot will remember the Rio.
Maybe
where
that's
everybody
why
went.
it's called, this night is called that perhaps then. It's
It
like
might be, yeah.
reminiscing about there.
Yeah, it might be the Rio. Blimey, that takes me back.
Yeah, I've got friends that have been to this before and they have had a really good night and I keep getting told, come on, Giselle, come along. So I may have to try that one.
Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, or drop us an email at thedidcotpodcast@gmail.com.
The one thing about Didcot that I've learned since doing this podcast is there's an awful lot of stuff on for kids and mothers and stuff like that, which is brilliant. But there's also an awful lot of live music, and most of it is in Harwell.
Oh, really?
Well, there's a lot of it in Harwell. Yeah, I'll read a couple of other ones. There's a really good one in Sutton Courtenay. Not my cup of tea, personally, but it will be for some people. An evening of jazz and soul love song. Well, I like a bit of soul. I'm not very keen on jazz, personally, but I do like a bit of soul. But Sutton Courtenay, they are having a evening of jazz and soul love songs with Joe Harrop and Nigel Price. Saturday, the 15th of February, 2025. Tickets £25.
Do you know what? I always thought I absolutely hated jazz music.
I hate
And then
jazz.
my mum got me tickets one year for my birthday to go on the big steamer boat that goes down the Thames from Henley.
Oh, yeah?
They had a jazz band on there and a meal, and my mum bought all the family tickets. Went and did that night, and I absolutely loved it. It was such a nice, chill vibe, going along the river, and it did. I mean, I don't tune into jazz music, but I really enjoyed it.
If you ever want to push me over the edge, get me to drive at 20 mile an hour listening to jazz. That'd be the end of it.
Oh,
You never see me again.
all the good things coming together in once as you go past a pothole.
Oh, my God. Right, let's move on. Let's not talk about jazz anymore. I don't know why, but I've gone down the mums and kids route for the news gathering this week because I like active buggies in Cholsey, which is you get a free fitness session for parents with young children designed for postnatal participant. What's the difference between a postnatal participant and that word I said earlier on?
A postpartum?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but I think, like
we
I
need
think
someone
they're
to write
both
in.
to do with after you've had your baby, aren't they?
I'm going to chat GPT postnatal, postpartum, find out what's the difference. Anyway, it's on at Chelsea Recreation Ground. It starts on Monday, the 13th of January, 11:30 to 12:15. Book now. It says active buggies in Chelsea. I think that looks quite cool. Hey, do you like a quiz?
I am the worst person
Just answer
in the
the question.
world at
Do you
quizzes.
you don't like them?
I absolutely.
All right, then.
I normally have fun when I go, but I cannot deal with the pressure of quizzes.
Do you like curry?
Love curry.
All right, well, that's handy because there's a quiz and curry night on Saturday, the 8th of February in the Blueberry Village Hall. Blueberry's quite a vibrant little place as well. There's a lot going on there.
There is.
With
I'll tell you what.
pantomimes and quiz and curry nights. And
You can do the questions and I'll do the eating. How about that?
I'm well up for that. It's 20 quid.
Okay. What's the prize?
Tickets available, blah, 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 blah. Don't know. No prizes. The prizes. Oh, glass of fizz on arrival, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And,
I'll have that. I'll have the fizz and the curry. You can do the quiz.
Blueberry's a really nice thing. My sister works in the pub in Blueberry.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice place. I used to knock about. I used to have a girlfriend over there when I was really young, but I like Blueberry. It's a nice place. It's got lots of nice people in Blueberry.
Love Blueberry Recreation Ground, and it's such
So,
a nice park.
Would you care to join me on an evening of quizzes and curries in Blueberry Village Hall on Saturday, the 8th of January?
Does it mean I have to spend more time?
It's 20
with
quid.
You? You're paying. You can pay me to spend more time with you.
22nd of February, Big Ginger Tom Music present live music in Harwell, the Sam Kelly Trio at the Orchard Hall, Harwell Village Hall.
Everything's happening in Harwell.
It's the centre of the sort of live music world, apparently.
Or they've just got a good marketing team.
It says Mark Radcliffe, the well-known radio DJ, said amazing, thrilling music.
Wow.
I'd quite like to go to that. It says tickets from 15 quid. Online at We Got Tickets, blah, blah, blah. You'll find it on the Harwell Village Community Group. But I wouldn't mind going to that. I'd rather go to that than the jazz thing.
Did you ever do cadets when you were little?
No, but I wanted my kids to go.
Okay, so they've got cadets in Didcot. You can join from the age of 12, and they've just been saying, about we're looking for more people to come along and try it out. I've never really thought about it because I've just got too much of an army association with it, and that kind of scares me a bit. I don't know if that's weird.
We've got RAF cadets here.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's not all about you. I'm talking about Didcot again now.
But Didcot has a real association with the army.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I do think some of the things that they do in cadets is really good. My sister used to do it, and
really
she had
cool.
great fun. Yeah.
I've got one. What about on Saturday, the 12th of April? I wouldn't mind going to this, actually. Saturday, the 12th of April at 7 p.m. in the Didcot Civic Hall is Rock Night.
Oh, that would be fun.
Performing there are the Crimps, Celestial, the Limitations, and the Dirty Sock Puppets.
The Dirty Sock Puppets?
Yeah. We need to go and have a look at that. At 7 p.m, it is £5 in advance. I mean, how cheap is that? 3 quid under 18, 6 quid on the door.
The way you raised
That's
your
a
voice
bargain,
then, I
innit?
thought you thought it was really expensive.
So
I
look,
thought
you
you're
can
getting really
choose.
cheap.
You can have Quiz and Curry in Blueberry, or you can go Rock Night in Didcot.
Oh, hard choice.
Is it?
No.
Oh, okay. I quite like the Quiz and Curry, for me personally.
I just want a mixture of the both. I'll have the rock music, but with the curry.
I've got another one, Giz.
Go on.
What are you doing on Friday, the 4th of April?
I will be celebrating my son's
You're gonna
birthday.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, does your son like Pink?
The singer?
Yeah.
Well, I love Pink.
I know, but you're going to see Lana Del Rey anyway, so you probably don't want to do that. But anyway, Pink is playing at the Northcote, Abingdon. Tickets 20 quid.
Hang on, this isn't the real Pink.
No, of course it's not the real Pink.
What do you mean Pink
Oh, no,
then?
the Pink tribute show.
I was
Vicky
gonna
Jackson.
say-
She's called Vicky Jackson.
Vicky Jackson is...
No,
Yeah.
it's the real Pink. She's playing in Abingdon.
You just literally sold that as if it was the real Pink. Everyone's like, yes, quick, get tickets.
Okay, well, I'm
Crazy.
not... Okay, I might have got it wrong with Pink, but I think I've got it right to say that it's not ABBA who are also playing in Abingdon.
Okay, yeah, I think we can
Is
work
it the
that
real
one out.
ABBA? I think that's probably not.
What do you think?
March the 1st, what you're doing? Do you want to go and see ABBA at the Northcote? I mean, Abingdon's got some really good stuff going on. There's a guy called Paul Robbins Promotions who puts on a sort of motley crude. That's not really my cup of tea, but you might like that.
I'm not into that.
You were prone to a bit of headbanging when you were a bit younger, were you?
No,
Were
none
you
of
not?
that. No. I was into casual music. I was like into dance. Bit of indie, bit of dance.
Right, I'm going to finish on a really, really exciting bit of news. Well, it's not exciting actually, but it's quite controversial because
You've built it up now, so it better be good.
We talked about water stress last week to do with the £1.9 billion data centre and the infrastructure projects and the planning and the building and
this
all the planning.
is to
and all the
do
stuff.
with there not being enough water for all the people and businesses in Didcot, basically.
Yeah, and the houses and the people.
Yeah.
And now, quite rightly, I feel, because obviously the £1.9 billion data centre, which eats 100,000 gallons of water a day, is absolutely fine. But building a car wash at the bottom of Broadway is
I saw about
absolutely
that.
not fine.
Oh my gosh, that's not to do with water though. Surely they
Oh, I
can't.
made
They
that
can't
up.
say
No, I
water.
made it up.
Okay.
Anyway, it said that it employs 12 people.
Yep.
But he's waiting for a decision. Whoever wants to put it in there is waiting for a decision. There's a big old conflab about it, about whether they're going to let it happen or not. Giselle, I think we should call it a day there.
That's a
I
wrap.
just want to say that expectation for next week is very high because you've done absolutely no work this week. I've done
Wow.
all the news. I've got all the Post-it notes. I've got bits of paper.
How very
You're
dare
sitting
you.
under my throw with your hands behind your head drinking tea, waffling.
That is
and
true.
next week, you are doing the village roundup and
Okay.
you are going to turn up with some news.
Bring it.
And we all look forward to a big step up in the podcast next week.
And if you could please get in touch with us, it's the didcotpodcast@gmail.com. You can WhatsApp us. You can find us on Facebook, on
Can't WhatsApp us.
Instagram. Can't you?
No,
Maybe.
you won't. You can't WhatsApp us
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
You will be able to WhatsApp us one day.
And we'd really love to hear from you. So please do get in touch. It's the didcotpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, the best place to get hold of us is on the Didcot Podcast Facebook page or email us. And one day we might even get a WhatsApp account. Thank you very much for listening and we'll see you next week.
Ta-ra.
Thanks, Jiz.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for this week's episode of the Didcot Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've had a great time sharing the news, views, and plenty of chat from Didcot and beyond. If you enjoyed the episode, please help us spread the word. And we want to hear from you. Talk to us about literally anything. Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, or drop us an email at thedidcotpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, stay connected, stay curious, and we'll see you soon on the Didcot Podcast with Charlie and Giselle.